Hello friends, myself Professor Shantaya Gurmat, Department of Botany, MGVC Arts, Commerce and Science College, Muddebihar, Karnataka State. So today's class we discuss about part 3, bryophytes. The first example is Riccia. The example Riccia, systematic classification of Riccia. It comes under division Bryophyta, class Hepaticopsida, order Markensiellus, family Ricciaceae, the genus Riccia. Occurrence more than 100 species in this genus is the slender, Riccia. The best one is Riccia flutans. Most of the Riccia are commonly occurs in moist and damp soil. Some Riccia are found in aquatic media. The best example is Riccia flutans. Next we discuss about external characters of Riccia. These plants are small and thalloid, that is not differentiated into root, stem and leaf. The thallus is differentiated into a dorsal means the upper surface and the ventral means a lower surface. Dorsal surface is green color. Centrally there is a clear midrib and at the terminal region apical notch is present. That apical notch contains a growing point or apical cell. Most of the Riccia is bilobed, means two lobes. Each lobe bears an apical notch. That apical notch contains the apical cell or the growing point. The Riccia thallus is differentiated in dorsal and upper side. See, this is the dorsal surface. Clearly shows a midrib. The midrib region is thick and margin is thin. And see there, this is the apical notch. The ventral surface is light in color. It contains two important parts. One is scales and rhizoids. Scales are multicellular and normally arranged in the margin. And the scales are normally violet color. The rhizoids are minute hair-like structures. They are unicellular. Mainly two kinds of rhizoids. So one is smooth-walled and another one is tuberculated rhizoids. Next one is the internal structure of Riccia thallus. TS of Riccia thallus clearly shows two distinct regions. Upper assimilatory zone or assimilatory region, the lower storage zone or storage region. The upper assimilatory zone is composed of chlorophyll bearing cells arranged in isolated vertical rows or tiers and are separated by narrow vertical air canals. Usually, each vertical air canal is enclosed by 4 vertical cell rows. Sometimes 8 rows are also present. Each air canal communicates with the external atmosphere through air pores are present on the dorsal surface of the thallus. Most of the upper cells contains chlorophyll. And then we discuss about the lower surface. The lower surface of the tissue containing small cells compactly arranged forming a single layer called the lower epidermis. The multicellular one-celled scales and the unicellular rhizoids are produced in the midrib, mid-ventral region. There are two types. One is smooth-walled and another one is tuberculate rhizoid. See friends, this is the internal structure of Riccia thallus. This part is the upper surface is known as the vertical row of cells. That part is known as a assimilatory zone or photosynthetic zone. The lower one is the cells are compactly arranged and they are colorless. Such cells are known as storage. And the lower epidermis is continuous. And because the upper epidermis is interrupted by number of air pores or air channels, the lower epidermis is continuous and it bears scales along with rhizoids. smooth walled and tuberculated rhizoids are present. Next one is we discuss about reproduction. Reproduction in Rixia by two methods. The first one is vegetative reproduction and another one is sexual reproduction. First we discuss about vegetative reproduction by number of methods. The first method is by fragmentation. There is a progressive death and decay of the older portions of the thallus behind the dichotomy. The thallus lobes are separated and develops into a new thallus. Sometimes the thallus lobes are bifurcated by accidentally. Second method is adventitious branches. The adventitious branches are smaller in size. These branches arise from the mid-ventral surface of the thallus. They get separated from the parent thallus and developed into a new plant. Example, Rixia fruitans. The next type of vegetative reproduction, tuber. Tubers are small rounded structures of parenchymatous cells. These cells are rich in starch and other food. They are produced at the apex of the thallus lobes. Tubers remains dormant under unfavorable condition, resume growth on the return of favorable conditions. Next one is persistent apiasis. During the extreme dry conditions, the whole of the plant except the growing apex is killed by the summer drought. The growing apex of the resumes growth during the next growing season and grows into a new thallus. And lastly, we discuss about gymme. In the rhizoids, gymme-like structures are produced. They get separated and developed into a new plant. Next, friends, we discuss about sexual reproduction in Rixia. Rixia sexual reproduction is oogamous type. Most of the species are monoecious or homothallic. Each the thallus bears two kinds of sex organs. One is the male sex organ is entheridium and female sex organ is archegonium. Both the sex organs are developed on the same thallus. Such condition is known as monoecious. Some plants are both the sex organs are separated on the different thalli. The condition is known as dioecious. The first we discuss about the entheridium. The male sex organ is called entheridium. The mature entheridium has a pear-shaped body and a short fused stalk. It is present in a deep cavity in the dorsal portion of the thallus. It is attached to the bottom of the cavity by the stalk. This cavity opens at the surface of the thallus by a narrow pore called ostiole. See friends, this is the structure of the entheridium. This is the entheridial cavity and the small opening is known as ostiole. Next, then the structure of the entheridium. The entheridium is covered by a single layered jacket or entheridial wall. It is protective in function. Inside the jacket layer, there is a mass of endocyte mother cells. Each endocyte mother cell gives rise to two endocytes. Each endocyte develops into a biflagellated enterozoid or spermatozoid or sperms. The entheridial wall breaks down and the enterozoids come out from the entheridium. Each enterozoid is curved structure with two flagella at anterior end. It has elongated nucleus, tiny massive of protoplast in its posterior part and a pair of blepharoplasts at its anterior end. This is about the entheridium. Next, friends, we discuss about another sex organ, that is archegonium. The female sex organ is called archegonium. Archegonium is a flask-shaped structure present in the archegonial cavity. Each archegonium consists of two parts, namely venter and a neck. The venter consists of a single layered venter wall enclosing a venter cavity. This cavity contains an egg and ventral canal cell. The neck consists of a vertical row of 4 to 6 cells called a neck canal cells, surrounded by a layer of sterile wall cells. The terminal part of the neck, it is covered by 4 cap cells or cover cells or lid cells. See friends, this is the structure of the archegonium. Next we discuss about fertilization. At the time of fertilization, the neck canal cells and ventral canal cells degenerate and form a mucilage. This mucilage absorbs water and swells and forces to open the cover cells of the neck cells. The mucilage has certain chemical substances which attract the anthrazoids towards the archegonium. One of the anthrazoid fuses with the egg and form a diploid zygote. Next friends, after fertilization, the zygote is formed, then the zygote produces the sporophyte. In Riccia, the sporophyte is embedded in the sporophytic tissue. The sporophyte is called sporogonium and it represents the capsule. There is no seta and foot. There is no foot and seta. The sporophyte is covered by a calyptra which develops from the ventral wall. The sporogonium has a central mass of fertile cells called sporogenous tissue or archisporium and sterile and fertile. The jacket called epithecium and the sterile jacket called epithecium. The sporogenous tissue by division develops into spore mother cells. Each functional spore mother cell undergoes meiotic division to form 4 haploid spores. The spores are arranged in the form of tetrads. The spores are haploid. They are called meiospores. They are pyramidal in shape and black in color. The spore bears outer exosporium or exine and middle mesosporium and inner endosporium or intine. The spores absorb water and swells. The exosporium and mesosporium of the spore break down and the endosporium protrudes out in the form of germ tube. The germ tube divides into a leafy thallus called prothallus. Rhizoids arise from the lower surface of the thallus. The prothallus grows into a mature thallus of Riccia. Friends, the last part of the Riccia is life cycle. This is the graphical representation of the life cycle of Riccia. Riccia normally 2 generations. One is gametophytic generation and another one is sporophytic generation. Gametophytic generation is normally N-shaped, N, and sporophytic generation is 2N. In Riccia, thallus itself is gametophytic, means N number of chromosomes. Riccia thallus produces 2 kinds of sex organs. The male sex organ is known as antheridium and female sex organ is known as archegonium. Archegonium produces the egg and antheridium produces the anthrazoid or sperm. Both egg and anthrazoid are fuses to form the zygote by the process of fertilization. Then the zygote means it's diploid in condition, means to a number of chromosomes. Then the zygote divides to produce the embryo and sporogonium. Then each sporogonium contains number of spore mother cells. Each spore mother cell by the process of reductional division or meiosis to produce the haploid spores. Each haploid spore is N in chromosomal number. During favorable condition, each spore germinate once again to produce the Riccia plant. Here, the gametophytic generation is dominant and sporophytic generation is restricted. Friends, in the life cycle of Riccia, the haploid gametophytic generation is independent and is the main vegetative body. It reproduces both vegetatively and sexually. Asexual reproductive phase phase, sporophytic generation is dependent upon the gametophyte and is embedded within it. It is represented only by the sporogenous tissue. Thank you, friends. So we meet in the next video. Thank you.